Julie's clearly exhausted as she fills Chad in on how the kids are doing in the blackout. Then Thomas and Rachel run in, bored. She does not look happy, so to entertain them, she pulls out Monopoly. But then Foster calls with news that people are looting Horton Square? What kind of people live in Salem that they start looting within minutes? Oh well. Julie plays ref as the kids play Monopoly, but things are going downhill between the cousins. She chides them to behave while she makes popcorn, but they don't. Because that's when their fighting causes Rachel to blurt out that Thomas's daddy is a lying liar who's hiding his girlfriend, Kat. Chad and Kat are playing a card quiz game, and Kat pulls an answer on the Russian Federation from 2012 out of nowhere, seeing as how she's a spy and all. She claims she's just a boring history buff and has backpacked through Europe. Chishad, in turn, brings up the whole plastic surgery/Clyde thing, then instantly regrets it. Luckily, he's too smitten to put anything suspicious together and just starts kissing Kat instead of asking questions. Then they get to the Twizzlers and peanut butter portion of the night, and I don't believe them for 1 second that it's remotely enjoyable. Nope, nope, and nope. And back to kissing. Belle's playing a phone game with the sound on, which, honestly, is a huge pet peeve, so it's understandable EJ's getting annoyed, trapped in the elevator with her. So naturally, they start fighting, and Belle blames EJ for causing this. But she means because he's cheaped out on the generator, not that his secret electrical siphoning blew the grid. And oops, EJ admits he's still in love with Belle. That calms things down a bit. But Belle just regrets ever giving him her heart. She starts having an asthma attack because of his cologne, and breaks out her inhaler as EJ watches, clearly concerned. When Belle brings her dad's will up, EJ promises to just sign whatever she wants. He caused enough problems while John was alive. Leo's wandering around the hospital construction for reasons unknown, as Gwen freaks out trapped in the soon-to-be lab room. It doesn't take long for them to hear each other, but Leo's not a ton of help forcing the door open. Trying to force it doesn't work. A crowbar doesn't work. But breaking through the wall does. Gwen throws her arms around Leo once she's free, then catches herself and goes cold, as Leo tells her he was just snooping around since his electric company source thinks the blackout started here. Aha! It was the siphoning! Which Gwen immediately realizes. When Leo asks why she's there, she says EJ was giving her a tour of the free clinic since she was thinking of investing. Marlena's yanked awake on the couch by Susan, frantically knocking on her door. She's seeking sanctuary in the blackout. Thank God she was near Marlena. But Susan's horrified to learn Marlena passed out, so her pal fills her in on what's been going on before stopping, and maybe Susan's vibes about being unwell in her mind, body, and soul are right, Marlena says. Psychic powers to the rescue. Honestly, who can blame Marlena? When things are bad and there are no answers, we tend to grasp at whatever's offered, no matter how Susan's psychic medium bonkers they are. Speaking of which, Susan laments never getting vibes that Kristen shot EJ, which clearly worries Marlena. She shifts to what Susan was doing here, and we learn that Susan was at the graveyard, and apparently that Marlena lives right by the graveyard. Anyway, Susan realized her vibes that Stefano is alive weren't right. His presence is just strong and lingering. Marlena tells Susan about her dreams, who promises she'll stay tonight and keep Stefano out of Marlena's dreams. After some convincing, Leo gets Gwen to leave with him, which is probably fine because the electrician has other things to worry about than collect his bribe. In the elevator, Belle lays down to get some sleep, this time accepting EJ's coat. Rachel fills Thomas in on Kat's lying and pretending to be Abigail, and how she's made his dad lie too. The liars in question, meanwhile, are getting hot and heavy on Kat's couch. Days of Our Lives spoiler reveal that Tony DiMera has been acting completely out of character since his return. Tony is even trying to pull Theo Carver into the family company, something he knows Abe Carver would never agree with. Is this Tony, or has Andre DiMera come back from the dead? Days of Our Lives, writers have been hinting that Tony isn't exactly himself lately. Frankly, Tony acts much more like Andre the longer he is in Salem. Tony hasn't wanted anything to do with DiMera for years. As a matter of fact, Tony usually drops in to visit family and is usually gone is a matter of hours. Recently, Tony has enlisted Gabi Hernandez to help him to take over DiMera. Tony is also planning to get rid of Gabi and replace her with Theo instead. Honestly, Theo is probably the only DiMera that the board would vote in as CEO, considering how much trouble the rest of the family have caused. Gabi is certainly not going to be their first option. Philip Kyriakis and Xander Kyriakis managed to talk Wei Shin into voting for the takeover as long as he got control of DiMera. Titan and DiMera have been rivals since the 1980s, one always trying to take over the other. But this is the first time that it actually worked. Tony has always been too clean to get mixed up in DiMera's less-than-legal ways of doing things. Anna DiMera would want nothing to do with Tony working for DiMera, and he knows this. Tony is also demanding Titan be sold to them as well. Another unlikely idea. However, it seems that Brady Black is ready to sell. The last time they had an issue, Tony was killed after being thrown on a wooden shard on the docks. Tony was eventually resurrected, and it was revealed that Tony was pretending to be him. Tony was supposedly killed by Abigail DiMera while he was in a relationship with Kate Brady. Now fans wonder if Andre was really killed. Could Andre be alive and calling the shots? Several people have speculated that the Phil Stefano DiMera in the DiMera house. Is there much more to this than meets the eye? Keep watching to see just who is playing Tony and how far he is willing to go to get control of DiMera. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Tuesday, September 30th, 2025. Promise tense confrontations, romantic crossroads, and surprising progress in Salem. The week continues to heat up as loyalties are tested and relationships shift. Theo finds himself on the defensive when JJ confronts him. The confrontation stirs old memories and raises new questions about where Theo's loyalties truly lie. JJ's return to Salem has already caused a stir, and his direct approach could leave Theo rattled and expose deeper cracks in the family's fragile peace. EJ may be used to getting his way, but Belle isn't one to back down. She stands firm with him, refusing to let his charm or manipulation dictate her choices. Their clash highlights just how combustible their relationship has become, with neither willing to give an inch. Elsewhere, Chad and Kat hit a major turning point in their growing connection. Their bond has been building for weeks, but this moment may redefine what they mean to each other. Whether it's a step closer to love or a reckoning with the complications around them, the outcome is bound to shape both of their futures. Jada makes sure Paulina is fully updated on the latest developments. Information is power in Salem, and Jada's choice to share could shift how Paulina positions herself in the battles ahead. Expect their exchange to reinforce just how closely the personal and political are tied in this town. Finally, Xander continues working to rebuild his life and his relationship with Sarah. He manages to make inroads with her, a glimmer of progress that could pave the way for reconciliation. For Xander, every small step counts, though whether Sarah can fully forgive remains uncertain. Find out more about what's happening in Salem with our weekly dual spoilers update for September 29th, October 3. Days of Our Lives spoilers photos for September 30, 2025. Tease one ex's bliss and another's turmoil. While Xander and Sarah rekindle their romance, it looks like Belle and EJ getting stuck in the elevator may make them miss what they once had. Xander and Sarah talk about what happens next between them. At the hospital, EJ calms down a worried Belle. When the lights return, will Belle give EJ another chance? After all, Days of Our Lives spoilers for September 29th tease EJ's confession for his ex. Meanwhile, in the square, JJ has an unpleasant encounter with Theo, who went behind his back to warn Jada about JJ's rookie mistake. General Hospital alum Rick Springfield recently had an iconic encounter that he'll remember for all the days of his life. Just before he became a world-famous rock star, Springfield was known as Dr. Noah Drake on GH from 1981 to 1983. The musician and actor has shown up in Port Charles off and on for the last 5 decades as Noah, Eli Love, and even himself, with his last appearance being at the 2013 Nurses' Ball. Springfield did return to the GH set for the show's 60th anniversary special, which aired on January 4, 2024, to honor his late co-star Jackie Zeman. Now, as Springfield gears up for an appearance on the online celebrity workout show Men's Health, he shared a recent run-in he had at the gym with a famous face from Days of Our Lives. Filming an episode of Men's Health, and I went to the gym, and who should be there but 99-year-old Dick Van Dyke working out on every machine. Springfield began an Instagram post that included a snap of Springfield and Van Dyke flexing for the camera. Dick has lived in Malibu for about 30 years and is an awesome human being. I thought I was doing well at 76, but Dick got up from the chest press and did a little dance step before I left. Amazing, Springfield concluded. The snap of these two icons was met with love from several famous friends, including a like from Springfield's former GH co-star Bradford Anderson, is back from the dead. As for Van Dyke, he's remembered by daytime fans for playing Timothy Robichaud, father to the late Drake Hogestein's John Black on Duel, a role Van Dyke even won a Daytime Emmy for in 2024. What do you think? Should Springfield and Van Dyke return to their respective soaps? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. On Days of Our Lives, Alex has had his hands full. He's been jockeying between Tony, threatening to dismantle the Titan-Demera merger and keep both companies, and trying to help keep Stephanie's identity as a steamy romance author secret. The character has been pulled in more directions than one person can manage. Off-screen, Robert Scott Wilson has been plenty busy too. The actor has been enjoying his vacation retreat among other fun things, and recently made time for a fan event that wasn't just another meet and greet. It marked a major milestone for him and the people who've supported him from the start. According to Digital Journal, Wilson hosted his first solo fan event in Wilmington, North Carolina. It was created by Amanda Ramirez and her family, who have been running a club called Team Rob Wilson for a decade. Speaking to a reporter there, he stated that Ramirez was a rock star, adding, "I appreciate all of her incredible support and all of her family's support. Amanda works really hard to represent me and the show, so it was nice to finally do an event with her. That's no small feat in the soap world," and Wilson seemed genuinely moved by the chance to team up with Ramirez for something special. But the day wasn't just about selfies and small talk. A portion of the proceeds went to South LA Cafe, a cause close to Wilson's heart. He's been volunteering there for years, especially at their Thanksgiving bag drives, and says giving back is one of the ways he stays grounded. It was clear this event blended two things that matter most to him: his fans and his community. Wilson has stepped comfortably into the Kyriakis legacy, carrying a surname tied forever to the late John Aniston's Victor. He admitted it's been an honor to play a character so connected to Duel history, and he hoped one day to explore Greece for real, since the family's roots are from there. He also paused to remember photographer Brad Everett Young, whose recent passing was felt deeply across the soap community. When asked what acting has taught him, Wilson kept it simple: patience, humility, and the significance of being authentic. Right now, he describes this chapter of his life as in transit, and next up, he's heading to Nashville for a Duel dinner, dance, and concert that promises to keep the momentum going. Here are your Days of Our Lives spoilers for Tuesday, September 30th, 2025. Sarah and Xander took full advantage of the blackout and ended up in bed. But that doesn't necessarily mean that everything is now perfect between them. Far from it. While they admit they still love one another and want to work things out, Sarah still insists on couples counseling to work through their problems. Xander has agreed to do so, but there is also another problem between them. Sarah is under the false impression that Xander did not attack Philip when he actually did nearly kill his own brother. With Sarah feeling sorry for accusing Xander and Xander not correcting her, this little reunion is not going to last long. Will Xander come to his senses and tell Sarah the truth so they can have a true, fresh start? Or will he continue to lie to Sarah, knowing that if the truth comes out, everything they have rebuilt will be destroyed? Sometimes honesty is the best policy, even if honesty hurts. Belle and EJ did not have as good a night as Xander and Sarah did. They ended up stuck in a hospital elevator together, where EJ admitted that he is still in love with Belle, and Belle continued to take EJ to task for all his wrongdoings. When they are finally rescued, EJ tries to get Belle to talk with him more, but she is not ready for that. The only thing she is ready to do is be brutally honest with EJ, even if it hurts. She is still furious with him for what he did to her during Johnny's trial. It doesn't matter that he is sorry and said all those kind words about John. EJ betrayed her and made her look like a fool, and she can't forget that so quickly, if at all. Is there anything EJ can say to get Belle to listen to him? If she did, she would eventually learn he is keeping a major secret. The September 29th episode of Days of Our Lives skipped around town, demonstrating how various characters are dealing with the Great Salem Blackout. Foster's bookstore is being looted. Leo knows how to sledgehammer walls. Rachel is the brat Julie keeps insisting she isn't. Kat and Chad are making out and ignoring their peanut butter and licorice breath. Marlena is so desperate that she considers letting Susan diagnose her. And EJ and Belle are stuck in an elevator. Some people know they've met the one the first time they set eyes on each other. Others need time and exposure before they realize this love was meant to be. But on soaps, there is only one way to confirm that you're the one true pairing, especially if your relationship is currently on the rocks. Getting stuck in a spot where you have nothing to do but talk through the good times, the bad times, and the old times, followed by a sweet gesture from one or both to remind why they ever liked each other in the first place. Which is exactly where EJ and Belle currently are. He offered her his jacket. She said, "No way, she had an asthma attack." He said, "Feel better." She wanted to take a nap. He offered her his jacket, again. This time she took it. We've made no secret of loving this pairing, especially if Belle's hurricane of a sister comes back to town to make up the third spoiler leg of a triangle. But even without Sammy, Belle and EJ are adorable together, and their getting stuck at this particular time is just proof that the stars are aligned in their favor. Surely, nothing can go wrong now. Welcome to Days of Our Lives Daily YAPP for a quick, and by that, I mean you're already halfway done, recap of the most amazing or what the heck did we just watch moments on today's episode. Let's get to it. We have to admit, Thomas and Rachel are kinda great together, and we can see a romance down the line. Since this is a soap, that down the line can happen next year if Days of Our Lives decides to suddenly source the characters like it did with Tate and Holly. Remember, Tate should be about 6 months older than Thomas, rather than close to a decade older than Thomas. Rachel was born during a time jump, so she should be about 5. But does any of that matter when they are now about 10 years old and BFFs who fight all the time? We also love that Days is naturally allowing 2 children of the same age to actually interact on the show, rather than only seeing kids with their parents. During the blackout, Thomas and Rachel proved what great sparring partners they can be, as Julie played referee, which was absolutely delightful. In fact, Julie is absolutely delightful as she navigates life as a babysitter when all she really wants is a little bit of peace and quiet so she can sit down and read a book. We hope to see Thomas and Charlotte's little friendship continue with Carrie Christopher and Alice Halsey in the roles until the inevitable Sorazing takes place. Then, Days will be ready for the next generation of high school romance. Want more details? We got you! Soap Central has the best full duel recaps on the internet. You can even go back over 30 years and read each and every one of them. If you can't wait until the next episode, we have daily spoilers too. And whatever you do this weekend, do not, seriously, do not forget to read the 2 scoops for some laughs in the as close as we can come to being a watching party without actually being a show. And the best part is, if you agree or disagree, we want to know. As always, share your comments below. Days of Our Lives. 2-week spoilers for September 29th through October 10th bring drama with Rachel Black is heading down a darker path, leaving Brady Black stunned. During a power outage, EJ DiMera confesses to Belle Black that he's still in love with her while they're stuck in an elevator. Meanwhile, Kat Green and Chad DiMera share a romantic moment. This affirms their decision to go public with their relationship. Rachel's actions deeply upset young Thomas DiMera, potentially marking the beginning of her downward spiral. Julie Williams intervenes, planning to speak with Rachel. Leo Stark offers assistance to Gwen Rizchek, who may be trapped in a secret lab area due to the blackout. Susan Banks visits Marlena Evans, and they have a serious conversation, possibly about Marlena's disturbing nightmares. Xander Cook and Sarah Horton make strides in their relationship, discussing couples therapy. They share an intimate moment during the blackout, but Sarah questions if it's too soon given their differences. Also, Belle remains firm in her stance with EJ, possibly quoting Taylor Swift about their relationship being over. Her main concern is a significant donation from her father, John Black, intended for the hospital, which has unfortunately fallen into EJ's possession. Chad and Kat face a turning point in their new relationship. Jada Hunter provides Paulina Price with an update, potentially related to the blackout. Theo Carver has an encounter with JJ Devereaux, who is unhappy about Theo discussing the shooting incident with Jada. Johnny Dimera and Chanel Dupree receive shocking news from social services regarding the adoption of baby Tesoro, with the birth mother opposing it. Kayla Brady delivers surprising news to Brady, possibly concerning a DNA test result for Tate Black. Holly Jonas rejects Tate again, stating she won't be involved in a love triangle with him and Sophia Choi. Simultaneously, Sophia's plans begin to gain traction. Stephanie Johnson makes a deal with EJ, possibly tied to the Tom Horton Free Clinic opening gala, coinciding with the show's 60th anniversary of Days of Our Lives. Chanel's heart is broken, possibly due to the adoption falling through or the emergence of inappropriate photos of Holly on Johnny's phone. It appears Sophia drugged Holly and took compromising pictures, so she is intending to ruin Chanel and Johnny's relationship, as well as Tate's and Holly's. Tate confides in Brady about Holly punching him and breaking up after finding Sophia in his dorm room. Holly mistakenly believes they slept together. Meanwhile, the dorms are on fire. Maggie Horton confronts Holly about the blaze, which started accidentally after Sophia got her drunk. Questions arise about whether Holly will face university repercussions. Sophia panics, possibly due to the fire and Holly's state on Days of Our Lives. Chad expresses concern for Thomas, potentially due to Rachel's influence. Gwen and Kate catch up, with Kate subtly inquiring about the renovations, hinting at the hidden secret science lab. Paulina confronts EJ with harsh words. Julie joyfully welcomes a Horton family member home, Jeremy Horton. Stephanie confides in Alex Kyriakis about her stress, possibly revealing details about a troubling past relationship and Jeremy's connection to JJ on Days of Our Lives. Jeremy confronts Stephanie about her writing, claiming to be a changed man. Steve Johnson and Brady investigate a new mystery surrounding baby torts, driven by the strange timeline. Another DNA test may occur, this time comparing the baby to Sophia. Kat faces potential danger if her ISA cover is compromised. Chanel and Johnny's marriage is strained by inappropriate texts involving Holly. Sophia might alert the school, jeopardizing Johnny's teaching position. Xander and Sarah's couples therapy is set to begin. Rachel's erratic behavior escalates. Alex and Stephanie's relationship faces immediate challenges. Brady seeks more information about Sophia's baby on Days of Our Lives. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Tuesday, September 30th, reveal that Theo Carver is confronted by JJ Devereaux. Meanwhile, Belle Black is firm with EJ Demera. Jada Hunter updates Paulina Carver, and more. Read on for soap opera news full breakdown of what's coming up. It's clear Theo is still struggling with JJ. JJ did shoot Theo while on duty, and even though Theo forgave him at the time, the trauma didn't just vanish. Now seeing JJ back on the police force, armed and all, has triggered something. JJ thought the past was behind them, that they'd both moved on. But every time they run into each other, things feel off. Theo keeps making quick exits, and JJ is left confused. Now he's starting to ask questions. Will this lead to a tense confrontation? Or maybe a much-needed clearing of the air? Elsewhere, Belle stands her ground with EJ. Getting stuck in an elevator together can bring people closer or drive them further apart, and right now, Belle and EJ seem stuck somewhere in between. EJ confesses he still has feelings for her, and Belle might not be over him either. But he hurt her badly, and that's not something she can just look past. Not yet. Days spoilers for September 30th also tease that Chad and Kat hit a turning point. The sparks between them have been flying for weeks, and now they've officially taken the leap, They're boyfriend and girlfriend, and from the looks of it, they're ready to take things to the next level. Meanwhile, Jada updates Paulina. But about what exactly? Could it be about the blackout in Salem? Or maybe something Theo said about JJ? Whatever it is, it sounds important. And in more romantic news, Xander is slowly making progress with Sarah. The last time we saw them, they were literally in the dark. But emotionally, things were lighting up. Are they finally ready to give their relationship another shot? So what are your thoughts? Do you think JJ and Theo's tension could die out? Sound off in the comments, and don't miss more duel spoilers coming soon. Also, check out what goes down in the latest promo video. Don't forget, new episodes stream weekdays exclusively on Peacock. Days spoilers for Sep 30 reveal that JJ confronts Theo, Belle gets firm with EJ, Chad and Kat reach a turning point, and more. Theo is upset with JJ because JJ previously shot him while on duty. Although Theo forgave JJ at the time, he is now triggered by seeing JJ back on the police force, especially when he is armed. Soap Opera News has the latest soap opera comings and goings for the week of September 29th. This week's news includes a surprise return on The Bold and the Beautiful, a major exit and debut on Beyond the Gates, a surprise return on Days of Our Lives, and more. We have all the details on who's in and who's out from your favorite daytime dramas. With so many shakeups, this week promises a lot of drama for fans. Be sure to check back next week for the latest updates on all the comings and goings from your favorite soaps. That's it for your soap opera comings and goings for the week of September 29th. Catch all 5 soaps weekdays on their respective networks and streaming platforms. In today's Days of Our Lives update for September 29th, Salem is hit with explosive twists. EJ's shocking confession leaves Belle stunned, while Rachel's unsettling behavior stirs new concerns. Meanwhile, unexpected rescues bring surprising alliances, and Chad takes a bold step toward his budding romance with Kat. EJ remains trapped in the hospital elevator with Belle, creating an unavoidable confrontation. Their history adds tension, and Belle struggles to keep her composure. EJ presses for an honest exchange, reminding her of the bond they once shared. The moment escalates when EJ confesses he still loves her. This admission shocks Belle, who refuses to reconcile. Despite his pleas, Belle makes it clear she won't reignite their relationship. This interaction underscores the emotional strain between them and sets the tone for unresolved drama ahead. At the Horton house, Julie watches over Rachel and Thomas. The children's evening takes an unexpected turn when Rachel exhibits troubling behavior. She mutters in her sleep or makes an alarming move, leaving Thomas unsettled. The incident raises deeper concerns about Rachel's subconscious memories of shooting EJ. If Thomas uncovers her hidden guilt, he may face a dangerous dilemma. This twist places Rachel at the center of Salem's growing chaos, ensuring her actions carry long-term consequences. Across town, Chad embraces his growing feelings for Kat. Despite complications, he chooses to move forward and make their relationship public. His resolve shows a willingness to explore a new chapter despite family tensions. Chad and Kat also share intimate moments as the blackout continues. Their connection intensifies, hinting at greater challenges ahead as Chad reveals his intentions to his family. This romance pushes him to redefine loyalty and pursue happiness on his own terms. The blackout sparks dangerous situations, leaving several Salem residents in peril. Gwen finds herself trapped behind EJ's high-tech hospital door. Luckily, Leo discovers her predicament and rescues her, opening the door to potential reconciliation. Meanwhile, Susan arrives at Marlena's townhouse, where she finds Marlena unconscious. Susan acts quickly, reviving her and sensing something deeper is amiss. These rescues not only prevent crises, but also pave the way for renewed connections and new complications. Today's Days of Our Lives update highlights confessions, rescues, and troubling behavior that deepens Salem's turmoil. With EJ's love admission, Rachel's unsettling actions, and Chad's romantic leap, the drama promises ripple effects. Stay tuned with Soap Opera Daily for more updates as Salem's chaos unfolds. The action in this Days of Our Lives spoilers video preview for the week of September 29th begins as a trapped EJ and Belle are forced to deal with each other in the stuck elevator. The blackout has caused this, but will they use their time together wisely? "We can speak to each other like humans who were once in love," he begins, but Belle interrupts with a roll of her eyes and a gasp of disbelief. "Or in my case, one who still is," EJ admits. Belle shoots him a sharp look, clearly not buying his words. "I can't do it! I can't be a part of this love triangle," cries Holly. Is she talking about Tate and Sophia? She believes something happened between the two of them. During the blackout, Holly has passed out from the alcohol she drank, and when she turns over in bed, her hand hits the lit candle next to her, knocking it over into the wastepaper basket. Soon, a fire alarm blares through the dorm. Brady is at the dorm and tells Tate, "I smell smoke." Tate, now panicked, jumps into action and asks Ari, "Where's Holly?" Ari is mortified as she tells him, "Oh my God, I think she's still in our room." The scene switches back to their dorm room as smoke begins to fill it. "Still planning to tell your family about us?" Kat asks Chad when the two meet up in town. Chad smiles as he tells her, "There's no going back now." The two can be seen sharing a kiss. At Stephanie's apartment, Alex can see she's distracted and is worried about her. "Steph, what's going on? Why don't you tell me? Who's his cousin?" he asks. Later at Alex's apartment, a sudden knock sounds at the door. Stephanie goes to answer it. A man stands there, but his face remains hidden. "Hi, Steph," the mystery man says. Is he the same guy who threw out the bouquet of flowers when he saw Stephanie with Alex in Horton Town Square? See it all for yourself in the preview video below. Let us know what you think is going to happen in the comments section, and be sure to check out our spoilers gallery for a sneak peek at what's happening on all the soaps this week, including Days.